get into the NBA. What's our first topic, CJ?
First topic, obviously, is it's been a big week. It's been a big week in the NBA. We're going to get to the Nuggets shortly, but Miami Heat was up 3-0. It's pretty everyone thought it was done. It was over, and maybe not a sweep, but a gentleman's sweep at least. Boston was a great team, but this team it's just been clicking over the last 3 games, and now it's 3-3 in the Eastern Conference Finals. Forwards, you got Derek White. Then Game 7 tomorrow in Boston. Celtics Heat. We already know the rivalry is etched with so much history over the last decade or so.
Mm-hmm.
This series just adds to it even more, especially with the circumstances. Celtics look to be the first team in NBA history down 0-3 to come back and win a series and advance to the finals. So this is a massive game tomorrow. We're gonna start with our resident Heat fan, man. Michael, what's your thoughts so far on this series? And
hang on a minute, CJ. Hang on a minute. Before the Heat
fan, Nick wants to come at me right now.
I want to embrace the Heat fan for just one moment, man, because I need to. I got some things on my chest. I got some things on my heart. I got some things on my heart, man. What is Heat culture, man? Because whatever Heat culture is, they're on the brink of having probably the biggest collapse in sports history. I don't know if there's ever been like a team that came out from 0-3 like in sports history. I know that it definitely hasn't happened in basketball, but 3-0 up 3-0. They win game 3 by 26 points, 128-102. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown combined for I think 28 points in game 3 leading up to that loss. Now out of nowhere, this series is going 7. And I'll be real, man. To me, this is just my opinion. I feel like Heat fans are a little too chill right now, too cool because, after game 4, Jimmy Butler going to the podium, singing, acting like everything's all good. And now it's like Heat fans. I see Heat fans on Twitter. Oh, we're all right. We're good. We're good. After game 4, we're good. After game 5, no, we're good. After game 6, no, we're good. No, you're not good. You're not good. You're not good at all. And I ended up writing down some stats. So in the first 3 games,
the first time he's wrote down stats.
In the first 3 games, the Heat averaged 120 points per game. In the last 3 games, they only averaged 99. So that's a 20-point difference. And I know that Gabe Vincent ended up missing game 5. So that was definitely a huge loss. But you got to give credit to Boston. Boston, they've been playing more with a sense of urgency. They know that, their season's definitely, or the past few games, their season has been on the line. They ended up having that big second half in game 4. Jason Tatum had 25 points in the second half on 73% shooting. Game 5, they played a really great offensive performance and defensively. And in game 6, man, honestly, I'll be real. I thought Miami was going to close it out last night. I really thought that they were going to close it out last night. And I think you got to look at Jimmy Butler in that one. 5 for 21 shooting in game 6. You have an opportunity to close it out on your home floor. And, I mean, we all know that Jimmy's had a really great playoffs. We're not going to take anything away from what he's been doing. Mm-hmm. But, in that situation, you got to learn. You got to close it out. I mean, I think a lot of people expected Boston to win game 5, especially after momentum, winning game 4, winning that first game. And then, of course, now they're going back home, being able to ride the momentum of game 4, and then of course the crowd and thriving off that energy. But hey, man, it's just the way that I look at it, man. Is it's kind of tough to say that that Boston will win the series now because they have won the last 3 games and they have momentum, and they are 5-1, 6-1 in game 7s in the Tatum Brown era. But it's also you got to look at it like Miami's already won 2 in Boston. They already won the first 2 games in Boston, so. That's why it's so tough. But one thing I will say for Eric Spoelstra, and part of my French, but he has to coach his ass off in games.
Oh, absolutely.
Everybody has to play well. We need bubble Jimmy. We need that game 5 Jimmy against the Lakers that ended up forcing game 6. We need Jimmy against Milwaukee earlier in the playoffs when he had I think like 56. Like you need that type of performance. Go ahead.
Here's the difference though. And you made great points on everything you said, other than like Boston's going to win this game. That's the worst point that you could say. But here's the thing: after Miami,
I didn't say they were going to win.
You said they're going to win the series because they have the momentum. Trust me, I heard you. I was ready to stab your eyeballs out through my screen. But after winning 3 games in a row, I honestly feel like Miami got on coast. They hit cruise control and was just riding fine. Okay, we can lose 1 game, no big deal. We go back to Miami, we'll win. Oh no, we lost this one, we're fine. And it's totally what you said. I'm kind of piggybacking there. I agree with what you said. But we're finally back to the point where it's more. I hate to say it because they're NBA players, and I don't know if I 100% agree with what I'm about to say. But it's finally back to being the game on the line. Miami all playoff has been the underdog. Well, when they got up this 3-0, we weren't playing to win. We were playing not to lose. And I really feel like that's a hard way to play. And we're not used to that. We're like, oh, you expecting us to lose. Well, we're going to do whatever we can to flat out destroy you and win. Even, we could pick apart the game last night in the last 3 seconds when Jimmy Butler got fouled and it was 2.4 seconds. Then all of a sudden 3 seconds came back on the clock. Crazy because nobody challenged that I seen. They didn't go and look to see what to do as far as time. It's just 3 seconds was on there. If they kept the right time, and I'm not saying it's the referee's fault. I'm just saying if they kept the right time, or when they stopped it when Butler was fouled on the 3, that putback doesn't count. And we're not having this discussion at all. So it's been a game of inches, a game of seconds even, and it's been a good series. You can actually go back and look. I had said on our show I thought Heat would win in 6. So I'm 1 game off. Miami just was ready at it at the first 3 games, and I think Boston survived the punches, and now they're coming back at us because their back was up against the wall, and it was do or die. Well, now it's back to 0-0, basically winner take all. You're back into the play-in game to go to the finals, and Butler's not had great games. He's been still a great leader. To say that we have to blame Butler, absolutely not. Butler has been the leader of this team. He's been the horse everyone's been riding all the way through this. So he's got to have a good game, like solid 4 quarters games. We know that Miami's always going to have that 4th quarter run. Like I told you guys last night, they're going to do like an I think 24 to 15 run or something like that. I don't know what it was, but they're going to have that 4th quarter urge and surge to where they come back from whatever they're down or explode to push it farther because they're an in-shape team. There's a chance that Tyler Hero may be in this game. And, they have missed him. I don't know how well you flirt with that because he's been out so long. He's rusty. I probably would bring him off the bench if he is available and not play him that much because you don't want to ruin what you already got going.
I'll just be real. I ain't playing him.
I mean, if I'm down, I might throw him in and say, hey, Tyler, it's your time. Like, this is why we have you our number 3. But I am worried because if we lose, we're done. But at the same time, like we wasn't even supposed to be here, so I'm still can be happy for how far we went. But it's the biggest explosion. I agree. Don't get me wrong. I'm not making excuses on that. Like if we lose 3-0 up and we blow that series, and when I heard somebody say that Spoles was reaching out to Doc Rivers and how not to blow this lead, I was like, we're done. This is it. Why would we even talk about that? But I still got faith in Miami. Bam, I think he only had 11 points last night. So we keep having different guys step up in these
Tell
last 3
me
games.
why Bam is allowing Al Horford to look like an all-defensive first-team candidate, bro. No shade to Horford.
Like I said, we're on cruise control right now. And finally we got our backs up against the wall again. And it's a scrap fight now. Like it's street fight. Let's see how this game goes. I'm excited to be Miami in this winner take all match because and we're both Heat fans. Me and my buddy, we were talking about this. We kind of feel like Miami has the better team all over. It's just Boston has the better superstars. So if we can get our team to actually play well together and actually show up on offense, because like you alluded to, we haven't broke 100 in a couple of games in this. So I mean, that's not what we usually do in this playoff. So 2 or 3 of our guys get hot together, and we'll put them away.
Yeah, wow, it's been a roller coaster for sure.
Yeah,
I'm not even a fan of either team, but just being a fan of the game, it's
been fun.
It's been insane. It's been insane. I think for the Celtics, 2 things: their defense improved. Mm-hmm. After Game 4, they played much better defense. They locked in defensively. Really cracking Miami zone, getting into some mismatches, making the right passes. They cut down the turnovers. That was a big thing for them. Miami did a great job of forcing Boston to turn the ball over, which led to obviously leads to easy baskets and momentum as well. So they cut that out. Tatum has played better and over the last 3 games for the majority of the games. Derek White, and I said it before at the start of the topic. I said Derek White, man. Derek White, these last 3 games has been sensational. We know last night, the game winner to force Game 7, knocked down some timely threes in the fourth quarter, knocked down some big threes from Game 4 to Game 6. He's been a big-time contribution. Marcus Smart as well, making shots, playing defense. Al Horford, his 3 isn't on, but the defense has been sensational, like what Nick talked about. The job he's done on Bam Adebayo, even the job he did against Joel Embiid, and in certain moments in the semifinal round against the Philadelphia 76ers. So it's crazy.
I want to do this real quick. Go ahead. No, go ahead and finish your segment. Go ahead.
I said people were calling for Joe Mazzulla's job, and of course we know the narrative, the running narrative of breakup Brown and Tatum is always something that is always going to be talked about on the Bird app, and and we just see that we just have to stop doing that, man. Look, you don't come back, win 3 in a row, force a Game 7 after being down 0-3 if you're not together. Plain and simple. You just like, this is the epitome of being together, being a team. And they're showing that right now, and they have an opportunity to make history. But it's a lot of pressure on them because now, it's back on their home court. You can say the pressure, switched back to Boston, in that everyone's expecting them to win now, as opposed to the last 3 games, everyone expected Miami to win. So it kind of flipped now, and Miami, like you said, Miami could be back in that underdog mentality. Look, they're not expecting us to win. They just won 3 in a row. They're back in their home floor. It's all on them now. I'm pretty sure Eric Spoelstra's giving them some type of similar talk to them over these next 48 hours. Oh, yeah. So like 24 hours now. I'm sure he's definitely been a vocal leader, especially right now for sure. But and for Miami, it comes down to Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler hasn't been playing well, and throughout these last 3 games, Bam Adebayo hasn't played well throughout these last 3 games. So, and with that, the role players for the Heat, Caleb Martin has been sensational. I mean, he's definitely made himself a household name in these playoffs with the shots he's been able to make. He wasn't a guy that's really known for making threes and knocking down shots on the perimeter at a consistent clip, and he's done that at a high level and an efficient level this playoff. So you got to give him a lot of credit. Gabe Vincent, another one, same thing, timely shots, just a baller, just a hooper. I mean, that's what they have. They have a bunch of guys, but ultimately it's going to come down to your stars, especially now with Game 7. I believe Brown and Tate are 5-0 in elimination games. So, I mean, if it favors them, I picked the Celtics in 7. Obviously not this way. I thought it'd be more of a back and forth, but you could look at it as a back and forth, really. It's 3-0 and 0-3, 3-0, 3-0. So this is what I expected, man. Phenomenal teams, phenomenal rosters. Joe Mazzulla, Celtics fans was calling for his head. This is a rookie head coach. I think people forget that, and he wasn't like the top assistant with Udoka last year. He wasn't sitting in the front; he was sitting in the back. He was like one of the secondary coaches on this team last year. He gets the call, he gets the opportunity to be the head coach of the Boston Celtics, and you know all the pressure that comes with that. And now he's in the Eastern Conference Finals and has the opportunity to make history and put the Celtics back into the finals for consecutive seasons. So I just have to give him a lot of credit. He's a young guy. Absolutely. I think he's 34 years old. So he's, this is great. And again, you see the team, they're playing for him. Everyone, Grant Williams is another big adjustment, a big addition to this series. He's knocked down some big shots. I know he had the little spat with Jimmy. He had a spat with Jimmy. I think that was Game 3.
That's what's changed. Is no one saying anything to Jimmy. They said nobody talked to Jimmy. Nobody make him mad, and they've won 3 because of that. I mean,
just hoop. Yeah, just don't give him a reason to give him any more reason, to lock in and show out. And Grant Williams knocked down some big shots as a body playing defense. But yeah, so it's been a battle for sure. It's going to come down to the same things for both teams. It's making shots, of course, and knocking down the shot, being consistent from there, minimizing turnovers. And when the fourth quarter comes around, when the game gets close, which star is going to step up between Butler or Tatum, and we're going to find out tomorrow. I can't wait.
Right.
Also,
We've got a few people
thing,
here that are watching live real quick. I want you guys to put in the comments who you all think is going to win Game 7. Go ahead, Nick.
No, I was just going to say one thing that I realized, and I tried to check this morning, because I didn't even realize in Game 6 Kevin Love didn't play. I didn't know if he was
not
hurt.
A minute.
Yeah, like in Game 6, I didn't know if he was hurt or anything. I tried to check this morning. I didn't see anything, so kind of an interesting thing. Let's see if he plays in Game 7. I feel like they're going to need him personally.
I agree.
Sure.
I've not seen a report of anything. I don't know if he just needed the rest because he is an older player, just maybe needed the day off. Because even looking ahead, it doesn't have him day to day or anything. He was a coach's decision.
It's interesting because honestly, in Game 6, Spo really condensed that rotation. Because Hayward Highsmith had minutes in Game 5, and I think a few other games, and he didn't play at all in Game 6. I think the second unit really consisted of Duncan Robinson, Cody Zeller, and Kyle Lowry. So that's really interesting. I wonder if he's going to go through the same scenario in Game 7, or possibly play a few more bodies.
No, I think that's it. I think it's going to be an 8-man rotation. Obviously, if the Love is there, he'll get some minutes, but we don't know how much minutes because of the injury. You got to ride with your best guys, especially right now. This is it.
That's true.
This could be your season. So I think the Celtics did a great job of getting that switch on Duncan Robinson, making him play a little bit, making him play some defense. That could have potentially been a reason why he missed. He missed 2 big shots last night, wide open threes. The second one, I wasn't a fan of. The first one, I was you set your feet.
Was it the one where he took one dribble?
Right, that was the first one. Right, he took on the right wing. He missed that one, and the second one, I felt like Jimmy had an and one. He hit a 3. Felt like he should have gave it to Jimmy right there, but he was wide open. He's one of the best shooters in the NBA, and he's confident in his shot. You expect to make that. Jimmy almost had everybody almost forget about the game that he had, knocking down the three free throws, and then Derek White. Listen, Marcus Smart, a couple of my guys are Celtics fans. It was like they hated the shot, but I'm like, yeah, if it was any slower, maybe White doesn't have enough time to get the tip in. So you got to get it up fast, and
they didn't like that shot just because it was like Poole, who shot early in the shot clock or left in the time. But that's exactly what we talked about. That like you shoot early, so you have that chance for that rebound. Like it was perfect on that. Now I didn't like the position of the shot where he got it at or anything like that, but nobody else was open. Like
it was great defense.
But as soon as I was watching it with my wife, and I told her, I said, you're always supposed to watch the inbounder because everyone's worried about who's getting the ball, and everyone forgets the inbounder. And I was saying it because White should have got the pass back to him. He was wide open. But he crashed and was very smart to stay in the play and was right there, not boxed out or anything for the putback.
Yeah, Strus was behind him. Yeah, Strus was behind him. He almost blocked it. He recovered pretty quickly, but it's just, and it was so quick. I thought he didn't get it in time, and then
I didn't either.
It's just great. First off, it's just great focus.
Yeah.
In that moment, in that time, season on the line.
Because he could have ball watched.
Yeah, he could have. Yeah, easily could have ball watched and thought, is it going to go in? Is it not going to go in? That's it. Yeah. That's our season. Crash the glass. 3 seconds left, and to have the focus and just lightly just throw it off the backboard.
Because he took his hands off too pretty early. It was a
great play. It was a great play.
Turd. Don't do it again.
it was a great play. And,
got to box out, man.
To save their season. No, but Strus was behind him.
Strus was behind him. He went towards Smart.
I got to go back and see the play.
Yeah, he went towards Smart to contest the shot, and then but once he saw White crash, he tried to get there. I mean, Strus. Like I said, he has some great recovery speed because he was on Smart, then he went to White in like point something seconds, obviously. So it was a great play. It's been a great series, and I'm just glad it's more competitive than the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah,
because that was competitive, but obviously Lakers didn't win a game. So now we're seeing 7 games.
Competitive.
It actually was pretty competitive. It wasn't like they got blown out.
4-game sweep.
We're seeing 7 games, and again, this is what I expected. I mean, these teams have seen each other over the last 4 years multiple times in this moment. So expecting nothing less. And again, this is the Celtics' third head coach in 4 years. Like what? So it's just crazy. 2 rookie head coaches. So it's for people talking about break them up, and it's just crazy to me. As a Knicks fan, I would dream of this, having this type of success in the last 7 years that they've had. This is crazy
because they're not even 30 yet, right?
No, none of them are under 27. Both of them under 27.
I'm not saying the oldest guy on the team is probably Horford.
Yeah,
I would say for the duo.
Yeah,
for the duo. Okay.
Yeah. I think Tatum's 25 and Brown is 26. So
maybe Brown will learn to dribble soon, and I mean they'll be unstoppable.
I mean, Brown is averaging like 20-some points a game in the series.
That's a flaw. You got to work on that. He definitely has to continue to improve in that category. But he's still an All NBA player. So
he was losing the rock a few times in that game. I'll admit he was losing the rock.
He's not Kyrie, but he has other things that he's great at.
But yet Nick had to send me a text. Oh man, look at Brown's handling skills here. I'm like, the fact that you have to make a comment on it tells me that you know now that it's not that great.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, the lane was wide open for Derrick White. I didn't even realize that it was wide open for him to get that off, get that tip.
He was open for a pass back too. That's what I was afraid of, because you always try to not let the ball get in. Like the guy who's on the ball is like defend, watch his eyes, and kind of play the passing lane there. Well, when he passed it to Smart away from him a little bit, he stepped right in at that 3-point line and had a wide open pass back, like a given step in go, I guess. I don't know. But
Smart had to get it because I think Butler and Bam were on Brown and Tatum respectively.
Yeah.
So they were going to lock that up and stop anything in terms of them getting a clean, easy look. So and that's their offense. It's not just of course those are the 2 top guys, but we've seen Smart take the ball to the rack. You know, sometimes some people, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of Celtic fans and I'm pretty sure casual fans too that haven't seen the Celtics throughout the majority of the season. They're like, why is he taking that shot? Why is he going to the rack? Because they trust him to do those things. Yeah. He's improved as a player. Is he Rondo in terms of playmaking? No. But they have a collection of guys that all make the right plays.
Yeah.
Their ability to everyone can set a screen for each other to create mismatches. That's what makes their offense so difficult to stop. It's not just Williams or Horford setting the screen. It's White. It's Smart.
It's White. It's Smart. Yeah.
Right. So they create those mismatches for Brown and Tatum and for all those other guys. Brogdon also set screens. That's what makes them so dangerous. They can cut. They can do a multitude of things. And if the 3 is on, it's curtains. So that's what we've seen over these last 3 games. And wow, here we are. Game 7 tomorrow. It's going to be definitely a classic. So
who you got winning, CJ?
I picked the Celtics in 7. So I'm sticking with that. Again, weird way to get here, but I'm gonna stick with my pick, man. And it just again, they're also great in the elimination games too. You look at how they played in Game 7 against the Sixers. Tatum had a 51-point game. Yeah. Will he have a game like that? I don't know. Tomorrow, I'm not sure. I think obviously the Heat are gonna play well. I think it's gonna be another great game. I don't think it'll go down I don't think it'll be as close as we saw last night, but it's definitely going to be a close game for sure because of what's at stake and how well each team know each other. So I'm sticking with Boston, and it's going to be. I think it's going to be Celtics and the Nuggets in the NBA Finals. It's going to be either way. Either way, it's a great series.
Oh yeah. Nick, who you got? Game 7, winner take all.
Oh my God. I didn't think we get here. I'll just be real. But I did originally pick Boston to win the series in 7. So I'm kind of conflicted as if should I stick with my original pick before the series started, or should I believe that Miami's not going to collapse because it's kind of looking like that. And CJ made great points, and I even said it earlier, like they're great in elimination games. They're undefeated even in this postseason when they lose their 3rd game of a series. So I'm gonna have to ride with Boston. Man. It hurts, man. Because I was really locked in on saying, man, like Jimmy has played so well. Like it would be great to see him get a ring, and so he could solidify himself in Miami Heat history. I don't know if it's gonna happen, man. I don't know.
Miami's winning by 12. Just go ahead.
12.
The score's gonna be 113-99. Right there it is.
113.99. Okay. Hey, listen. Again, I wouldn't be surprised.
Wait.
They got 2 already in Boston.
111.99. That's 12, ain't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Boston. Surprisingly, they're not great at home. They're a better road team. But like Nick and I just talked about, their record in elimination games have been pretty good, and a few of those games, I think one of those games were in Boston. So, wow, this is if Miami loses, it looks bad for a season that was so special. 8 seed, had to go through the play-in, got blasted by the Hawks. Then they
lost the first round of the play-in.
Right, exactly. Got blasted by the Hawks.
Oh, yeah.
Then lost to, and then beat the Bulls to advance. Beat the Raptors to advance, and what they did to the number 1 seed in the Bucks, beat the Knicks in 6, and as we know, what it was for the first 3 games for Miami. So it looks bad.
Hopefully,
it looks bad.
Hopefully,
bad, man.
Boston loses, and since they're at home, they can sweep out the locker rooms and be ready to go home. And